Hey guys, welcome to another video with Mel. Today we're going to talk about Negan. Negan is a villain from The Walking Dead, and recently, this week, Wednesday, Image Plus released a 4-page backstory to Negan. This will be part of a larger backstory for him that will go across 12 issues of Image Plus, which is this magazine, which you can get from any comic book store, probably online as well, and from Skybound's website. It retails for $2.99 in the US and £2 in the UK. Unfortunately, the exchange rate doesn't favor the UK very well. So in this, you've got 4 pages of Negan's backstory. Unfortunately, I can't show you the pages, but we can discuss them because I'm worried about having the video flagged for showing you all 4 images. I will show you the first one because it's been shown on the Skybound website and I've already shown it in a previous video. So, the comic is actually called Here's Negan, which I think is a really ridiculous title for it. And it's like, really? It just kind of reminds me of like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, really. Here's Negan. So let's get a little background on Negan first. So this is a brief history of Negan for anybody that's watching. So Negan starts out as a Walking Dead villain. For those of you only watching the TV show, I suggest that you don't watch this if you don't want to be spoiled, because you will be spoiled. I've read all the comics. I will spoil you. If you want to know about it, stay here. Fine. Good for you. I did the same thing, so can do. Negan has, though, just been revealed on the TV show, so if you don't want to know anything else about him, leave. Okay? Sorry. I'd love you to stay and watch, but I don't want to spoil you. Okay. So, Negan in the TV show was revealed in the Season 6 finale. He's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Things we know about Negan from the television show. We don't know a lot about him. He has a baseball bat with barbed wire around it called Lucille. Lucille's awesome. He's got a potty mouth, to say the least. Not so much in the television show, but a lot more in the comic. You can't get through the comic without the F word. Like every other word. I don't know how they're going to make that really work in the television show, because it wasn't really working for me when he did his speech at the end of the Season 6 finale, because I missed that. I missed the swearing, and I know they can't do it on network TV. Well, it's not network TV, it's cable TV. They can't do it on television, so I don't know what they're going to do. But hopefully they'll find a way around it, and it won't diminish Negan's character too much. So we know those things about Negan. He's also the leader of the Saviors, which is another group that Rick has just encountered. And the Saviors are a group that lives somewhere else in the community. And if you don't want to be spoiled, leave now. They live in a place called the Sanctuary. Okay, so the Sanctuary in the comics is a place that is surrounded by walkers, unlike stakes, and is a very industrial looking building. It kind of looks like a factory. So this is the place where Negan rules. He's a bit like a dictator, really, there. He's not really elected official. He's not someone that they've volunteered in the group. He is the one that makes the rules, and people listen or they face consequences. One such consequence for Negan is ironing people's face. That's what happened to Dwight. So if Dwight's face being messed up, his face was ironed by Negan as punishment for, in the comics it was, like denying Negan his wife, but I'm assuming in the TV show it's going to be for running away. So we see this later on. We'll probably see it in the show as well, and it will be horrific of someone getting their face ironed. So Negan plays a really huge part in the show, and this is why I'm really interested in this backstory we've got here, and that's why it just kind of helps to fill in the pieces. So Negan has a good relationship actually with Carl, not at first of course, but where we are in the timeline of the comics now, Carl goes to Negan for advice sometimes, and he is one of the only people that Negan can confide in, and they talk to each other. Rick also goes to Negan for advice. Oddly enough, his enemy is the person he goes to for advice. It is a very weird dynamic that they've got going there, and the advice works, so it works for Rick. Negan and Rick were previously in something called an all-out war, which will probably become part of the television show. And if the television show doesn't last a long time, I think the end of All Out War will be the end of the show, depending on how ratings are, guys. I think it would be a perfect ending to the show if they finished it there. But who knows what they're going to do. So, All Out War involved Negan and Rick fighting in their different communities because Negan wanted to take the supplies from Alexandria and leave them with nothing. Instead of taking half their things, he took most of it, including all their medicine, leaving their people pretty defenseless to illness and also starving. So, Rick's got a lot of reasons for not liking this guy. He also kills a major character in issue 100. It could be different on the show, but we're thinking it's still going to be Glenn. So Negan is not a very nice person. He has some redeeming features later on in the comic, in the new beginning sequence we're in now in the comic, but he is currently just escaped from prison. Yay! And some of us were really excited about that because Negan's kind of the person you love to hate. So, on to this Image Plus now. So that's your brief history of Negan, who he is, basically. So, Image Plus brought out these 4-page spread about Negan as a comic book. So the things that included in here, we don't get much in 4 pages, guys. And I think I'll try and do a video of each one of these, going through the things we learn every month, just so we know a little bit more. So, I've shown you this panel. This is the only one I'm going to be able to show you. Sorry, guys. If you want to see the rest, I suggest looking on YouTube or website. Someone else that doesn't care as much about their YouTube channel will probably put it up and probably have the video removed. I don't want to get a strike against me. Sorry, though. So, Negan, it says, made his debut in Walking Dead 100. He's a psychopath. Yay! He's antagonist for Rick Grimes. Murdered his friend with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire called Lucille. Leads the Saviors into war against Alexandria and neighboring communities. But we're asking who he was before society broke down. So in this bit, in the next 3 pages itself, we find out a few things about Negan. I just wanted to talk about what we actually find out. So we open up with Negan playing ping pong. Which is a weird thing to think of Negan doing, but if we remember from the comics, when he killed a member of the Alexandria safe zone, he actually went to use his pool table. So he does kind of like tabletop games, so why wouldn't he like ping pong? Maybe he's got one of those tables that has pool and ping pong and all different games and air hockey like I used to have. Possibly. You might do. He looks like he's in some kind of garage outside. There are punching bag in there, so we know he likes exercise. Some lots of junk around him. A painting of a woman, in a strange pose, and actually a big gun. I've just noticed this huge gun in the background. Quite a big gun there, and also some woodworking stuff. Oh my goodness! There actually is the baseball bat. Lucille is in the background of the first panel. Exciting, guys. Lucille is there. I can see her. She's at the very front in the panel. So if you guys have a look at that, if you've got a copy of the comic, you'll definitely see Lucille there. So we find out Negan likes ping pong, and he is playing against the neighborhood kids. He said that he's gonna like blow their load into their mom because he's beat them all, and asking them which one of them's next. The kids look pretty stunned. They're like, why would you say something like that, pretty much. And we find out that he is their coach. So, what my estimation from this, what I assume from this, is Negan is a gym teacher. That's what I would assume. Negan is a gym teacher and also a coach, maybe of the local football team or baseball team, something. I think he's a high school gym teacher, which actually fits Negan really, really well. There was lots of rumors before that he was a used car salesman, which I've never thought with Negan's build that he was a used car salesman. I always thought he was a gym teacher. He reminded me of like gym teachers I've seen on TV and movies. Not really the ones I've had, because my gym teachers weren't all that fit. But yeah, it reminds me of that. So we find out Negan's a gym teacher. Kids run away, of course. They're kind of intimidated by him. See if we can see anything else in there. I I don't think I can see anything else in the panel. It's really, there's a big gun in the background, and Lucille, so that is very interesting to know about. And one of the kids he's playing kind of looks like Glenn. I will just show you guys, that's Glenn. That has to be Glenn, doesn't it? That looks just like Glenn, so that may be a hint of what will come. Goes away, the kids are upset, he knows they're gonna go tell on him for swearing, and he's a bit pissed off. His wife comes in, she asks him what he's doing, and that telling him he's supposed to be a role model, and instead his parents are calling up and yelling at them, so that's not great. And he just says, I'm just messing with him. He wants to be cool for them. So he's trying to swear in front of them, make himself cool. And it's like, no. And she says, the school's going to fire you. So definitely a gym teacher there, as far as I can tell. And he says that he wants the kids to have respect for him. That he's got to be the cool teacher. I know exactly what that's like because I'm also a teacher. And it's so hard to engage with kids. And you gotta try and be the cool teacher, but you also gotta be very much into discipline. It's so hard, guys. I know exactly where he's feeling now. And his wife is talking to him, and she collapses. And that is the end of the 4 panels we get. She looks like she's having some kind of seizure to me. Her eyes roll back in her head, and she falls backwards, so she's having some kind of seizure fit, I would guess. We assume this is before the apocalypse because there's no hints of the zombie apocalypse and he's going to work. So we assume this is happening before the apocalypse. Negan's hair actually isn't as like slicked back as normal. It's a little bit messy. I think this is just normal him before the apocalypse. So I don't know fully what's going to happen to his wife. Will she die? Will she turn into a zombie? That could happen. I'd love to know what you guys think is going to happen with it, what you think the next panel will be. I mean, remember, we've got 12 issues of this, so that's quite a lot of stuff. And I think how they're going to do it is that first panel we saw with him making Lucille will be the last thing. I think that'll be the last thing. So we'll have everything before that, and then we'll have him making Lucille. And that's where we'll end it, because we don't really need to know about the time between him... him making Lucille and the Saviors. I assume that's after he's met some people and started to take leadership. So, but I assume the baseball bat is the one that's in his garage now. I was going to say it was probably one from the school, but it looks like it's one from his garage. And maybe he was a baseball coach. Cool. That would make a lot of sense. That's the weapon he prefers then is a baseball bat. So, we have no idea where this is leading on to because we've got 12 issues to cover and we're only going to get 4 panels each. So I think this is going to be a very short comic still, even with that. I do think after it's all done in Image Plus and after they've promoted themselves and got an audience for it, what they will probably do is release it as a set. I can't see why they wouldn't. It's money. Why wouldn't you take free money? I've never seen Kirkman turn down free money before. I don't think he's going to anytime soon. If Fear the Walking Dead is anything to go by, Kirkman will take free money if there's free money offered. Yeah, that's my feelings about Fear the Walking Dead as well. So, yeah, you won't be seeing reviews for that here. Other than, you stole my character name, Kirkman. I had Madison Clark first, and you stole her name from me. Yeah, you did. You did. I had the name first. I had it for 5 years before him when I wrote my book. Stole my name. Okay, guys, that will be it. Tell me what you thought of this little 4-page comic. What you think Negan's backstory is. Let's make some guesses. What else do we think we can know about Negan through this backstory? What do you think is interesting? Why is his wife collapsed? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back again next month with another 4 pages of this to analyze. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, it's Fangirling with Mel. I just wanted to let you know I'm doing a 100 subscriber giveaway at the moment where you can win some really cool prizes. Stuff in this box, including a copy of my book. So if you'd like to win the stuff in this box, it will be sent out internationally to whoever wins. You can enter my giveaway by clicking on the link below that takes you to my giveaway video. If you'd like to also subscribe to me, you need to do that for the giveaway to enter, but if you'd like to subscribe and watch more videos by me, click the link below. If you'd like to join me on my social media, click the links below. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, you know what to do already. I've told you. I will see you guys later. Bye!